I sat alone in my apartment on a quiet Saturday evening, finally enjoying some peace after 6 months of heartache and recovery. The sudden pounding at my door broke the silence. That voice calling my name sent chills down my spine. Amanda, the woman who had betrayed me, broken my heart, and then vanished without a trace, was now desperately calling for me from the other side of my door. My heart raced as my phone lit up with messages. I stared at it frozen, unsure what to do next. Let me know where you are watching from in the comments below. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support means everything. As I share my story of betrayal, healing, and unexpected reunion, my journey with Amanda began 3 years ago at a tech industry networking event in downtown Seattle. I was working as a software engineer for a growing startup, completely focused on my career and not looking for a relationship. Then she walked into the room. Amanda had this magnetic presence that drew everyone's attention. Smart, ambitious, with warm brown eyes and a natural beauty that needed no enhancement. She worked in marketing for a competing tech firm, and we connected over jokes about the industry's quirks. "You actually understand what the engineers are saying?" she asked with a laugh that made me want to hear it again. "That makes you a unicorn in marketing." I gathered my courage and asked her out for coffee at a small shop near Volunteer Park. Our first date lasted 5 hours, moving from coffee to lunch to an impromptu walk around the park. Conversation flowed effortlessly as we discovered shared passions for hiking, true crime podcasts, and a ridiculous love for bad science fiction movies. "I cannot believe you sat through all 3 Sharknado movies," she laughed, her eyes crinkling at the corners. "For the record, there are 6 of them. And yes, I watched them all," I admitted, already planning our first movie night. Those first few weeks were filled with the buzzing excitement that comes with new love. We texted constantly, meeting whenever our schedules aligned. Every moment felt charged with possibility, and I found myself smiling at random times just thinking about her. Our relationship deepened quickly. Within 6 months, we had met each other's families and friends. Her parents lived in Portland and welcomed me warmly during Thanksgiving. My sister Sarah took to Amanda, immediately telling me privately, "She looks at you the way everyone wants to be looked at, Arden." After a year of dating, we decided to move in together. We found a 2-bedroom apartment in Capitol Hill with a small balcony overlooking the city. Combining our lives felt natural. Even our disagreements about decor and organization seemed like opportunities to learn more about each other rather than actual conflicts. We talked about our future together often. Amanda wanted to start her own marketing agency someday. I dreamed of developing independent software projects. We discussed marriage, children even, which neighborhoods had the best schools. I started setting aside money each month for an engagement ring, researching designs I thought she might like. "You are exactly what I never knew I always needed," I told her one night as we watched the sunset from Cary Park. She kissed me and whispered that she felt the same. I truly believed I had found my person, my partner for life. The first signs of trouble appeared so gradually that I almost missed them. Amanda started working later, coming home exhausted and distant. At first I understood. Her company had landed a major client and everyone was pulling extra hours. Just a few more weeks of this crazy schedule, she promised, kissing me quickly before falling asleep. But weeks turned into months. Even when physically present, Amanda seemed elsewhere mentally. Her phone became an extension of her hand and she would angle the screen away when I approached. One night I noticed she had changed her phone password. "The company implemented new security protocols," she explained too quickly. "All personal devices need different passwords now." I tried talking about the growing distance between us. "Is everything okay? You seem somewhere else lately. Work is just intense right now," she would say defensively. "Not everyone gets to code in their pajamas like you do sometimes." The slight edge in her voice was new and it hurt. I began wondering if I had done something wrong or if she was unhappy with our relationship. Rather than confront her directly again, I decided to make more effort. I planned a surprise weekend getaway to a cabin on the Olympic Peninsula, hoping some time away from work in the city would help us reconnect. "I cannot just drop everything for a random trip," she said when I revealed my surprise. The disappointment must have shown on my face because she softened. but I appreciate the thought. Let me see if I can rearrange some meetings. We did go eventually, but Amanda spent much of the time on her laptop or phone. When I suggested we might benefit from couples counseling, she agreed half-heartedly. "If you think we need it, sure," she said. "But I promise things will calm down soon. We are fine, Arden. Trust me. Trust." The irony of that word would haunt me later. The discovery happened on an ordinary Tuesday evening. Amanda had been complaining about her laptop running slowly, and since fixing technical issues was my specialty, I offered to take a look. She hesitated before handing it over. "Just do not go through my files," she joked, but her smile seemed forced. "Client confidentiality and all that. I will just run some diagnostics and clean up your drive," I promised. While checking browser extensions that might be slowing things down, a notification popped up from her messaging app. The preview showed enough to freeze my blood. "Miss you already. Last night was from someone named Jason." I recognized the name as her coworker, someone she had mentioned occasionally. I wish I could say I respected her privacy at that moment, but something in my gut told me to click. The thread opened to reveal months of messages along with photos no coworker should be sharing. Their affair had been going on for over 3 months, right under my nose while I was saving for an engagement ring. They had been meeting at his apartment during her late nights at work. There were messages planning weekend rendezvous when she told me she was visiting her parents. There were intimate details about their relationship and even worse, messages complaining about me. "Arden is so clueless," she had written. "He actually believes I am working on the Peterson account all this time." I felt physically ill, my hands shaking as I scrolled through message after message. 2 years of building a life together, and she had been systematically betraying me for months. I closed the laptop and placed it exactly where she had left it. Then I sat in the dark of our living room waiting for her to come home. Amanda returned around 8, looking surprised to find me sitting in the dimmed room. "Why are you sitting in the dark? Is something wrong?" Without a word, I pushed her laptop toward her. "It opened to your messages when I was fixing it." Her face transformed from confusion to shock to defensive anger in seconds. "You went through my private messages. How could you invade my privacy like that?" "Your privacy?" My voice was eerily calm, masking the hurricane inside. "You have been sleeping with Jason for 3 months while living in our home, spending our money, looking me in the eye every day. And you are concerned about your privacy." First came denial. "You are misinterpreting things. Jason and I are just close colleagues." When I recited specific messages from memory, the strategy shifted to minimizing. It was just physical, it did not mean anything. We were both stressed, and it just happened. Then came the blame. "If you had been more attentive, if you had not been so wrapped up in your coding projects, if you had noticed I needed more excitement." We argued for hours, her excuses becoming more desperate as she realized the extent of what I had seen. Eventually, her tone changed. Tears flowed as she begged for another chance. "It was a terrible mistake, Arden. I know that now. I will end it with Jason completely. We can go to counseling like you suggested. Please, these past 2 years cannot be thrown away over one mistake. One mistake repeated dozens of times over 3 months is not a mistake," I said, my voice cracking. "It is a choice you made every single day." "I love you, not him," she insisted, reaching for my hands. I pulled away. "I need time to think. I cannot be here right now." I packed a bag and called my friend Marcus, who immediately offered his couch. As I headed for the door, Amanda blocked my path. "Please do not leave like this. We need to talk this through." "I cannot even look at you right now," I told her. "I need space." The next week was a blur of sleepless nights and distracted days. Marcus gave me the space I needed while ensuring I ate and occasionally ventured outside. My sister Sarah drove up from Portland when she heard what happened. The same thing happened with my ex. She reminded me over coffee. "Remember what you told me then, that I deserved someone who would choose me every day?" "This is different," I argued weakly. "No, it is not," Sarah said firmly. "You are just on the other side now." After much soul-searching, I realized I could not move forward with Amanda. The trust was shattered, and every memory now felt tainted by question marks. Had she been faithful then, or was she with him? Was she really visiting her parents that weekend? Or was that a lie too? I returned home to find Amanda had filled our apartment with flowers and prepared my favorite meal. Her eyes lit with hope when I walked in. "I have ended things completely with Jason," she announced. I showed my boss the inappropriate messages he sent and requested a department transfer. "I have booked us appointments with a couples therapist." "I will do whatever it takes, Arden. I have made my decision," I said quietly. "We cannot continue. I want you to move out." Her composure crumbled. "You cannot mean that. 2 years together and you will not even try to forgive me. This is not about forgiveness. I might forgive you someday, but I will never trust you again." "Without trust, what do we have?" she begged, pleaded, and promised. When she saw I would not change my mind, her demeanor shifted. "Fine. I will pack my things tomorrow while you are at work." When I returned home the next evening, Amanda had taken not only her belongings but several items we had purchased together. She left her key on the counter without a note. I tried calling to discuss the missing items, but discovered she had blocked my number. I checked social media, only to find she had unfriended and blocked me on every platform. It was as if she had decided that if she could not have me on her terms, I did not deserve any explanation or closure. After betraying me, she had now completely ghosted me. The silence that followed was deafening. Our shared apartment felt cavernous with half the furniture gone. Items I had never noticed before suddenly became painfully obvious in their absence. The throw pillows she had insisted we needed, the collection of succulents on the windowsill, even the specific brand of coffee she preferred. I struggled to sleep in our bed, often ending up on the couch watching mindless television until exhaustion took over. Work suffered as I fought to concentrate on coding problems that would have been simple before. My team noticed but respectfully gave me space, though my manager eventually suggested I take some personal days. Despite knowing it was unhealthy, I tried reaching out to Amanda. Emails bounced back. Mutual friends awkwardly admitted she had asked them not to discuss her with me. I even drove by her parents' home in Portland one weekend, only to have her father uncomfortably explain that Amanda had asked them not to share her new address. "She needs space, son," he said kindly but firmly. "I am sorry about what happened between you two." The rejection stung. Not only had I been betrayed, but I was now being treated as if I had done something wrong. The injustice of it fueled a spiral of negative thoughts that affected my health. I lost weight. Dark circles became permanent fixtures under my eyes. My friend Marcus finally intervened after I missed our weekly basketball game for the third time. "This has to stop, man," he said, letting himself into my apartment with the spare key. "You look like hell, and this place smells like a locker room." He opened windows, ordered food delivery, and sat with me while I picked at pad thai. "You need a strategy. This limbo is destroying you." That night I researched breakup recovery and discovered the concept of no contact. The psychological principles made sense immediately. Continuing to reach out or hope for reconciliation was keeping the wound fresh. Each attempt at contact reset the emotional healing clock. The only way forward was to accept the reality and stop seeking any connection. The next day, I began implementing the no-contact strategy with absolute commitment. I deleted her contact information and all our photos together. I changed my routines to avoid places that held strong memories. I boxed up gifts she had given me and donated them to charity. To fill the void left by her absence, I signed up for a gym membership and joined an advanced programming course I had been putting off. The distraction of learning complex algorithms provided respite from the rumination. Physical exhaustion from weightlifting helped me sleep without medication. I also joined a support group for people recovering from infidelity. Hearing others' stories reminded me I was not alone in this experience. One woman's words particularly resonated. "The best revenge is not letting their actions define your future." I wrote that phrase on my bathroom mirror as a daily reminder. Gradually, almost imperceptibly, things began to change. I stopped automatically reaching for my phone to share news with Amanda. I could pass restaurants we had frequented without that twist in my stomach. I rearranged my apartment, replacing the missing items with pieces that reflected only my taste. A coworker invited me to join a weekend hiking group, introducing me to a new social circle with no connections to my past relationship. I reconnected with old friends I had neglected, while focusing on Amanda. I signed up for a half marathon, reclaiming my passion for running that had fallen by the wayside. My sister visited after 3 months and noticed the change. "You look like yourself again," she said with approval. "Actually, you look better than before, more centered." "I feel more like myself," I admitted. "Some days are still hard, but they are getting fewer." At the 6-month mark, I realized I had gone an entire day without thinking about Amanda. The realization itself ironically made me think of her, but it was different now. The sharp pain had dulled to a distant ache. I could acknowledge the good parts of our relationship while accepting its end without that crushing sense of loss. I even tentatively agreed when Marcus suggested setting me up with his girlfriend's cousin. The date was pleasant if uneventful, but it proved to me that I could envision a future that included new connections. Work noticed the change too. My manager praised my renewed focus and creativity, assigning me to lead an innovative project. The challenge reinvigorated my professional confidence that had taken a hit alongside my personal life. And then exactly 6 months after she walked out of my life, Amanda returned. It began with emails I initially marked as spam. Then came social media requests I declined without reading. Finally, on that quiet Saturday evening, the knocking started. Loud, insistent, desperate knocking, accompanied by the sound of my name being called by a voice I had trained myself to forget. Through my doorbell camera app, I watched Amanda pacing outside my door. She looked different. Her confident posture was gone, replaced by nervous energy. Her usually perfect appearance was disheveled, her eyes red-rimmed. She kept looking at her phone, then back at my door, then down the hallway, as if afraid of being seen. My phone lit up with text messages from a number I did not recognize. "Arden, please. I know you are home. We need to talk. I made a terrible mistake. Please give me 5 minutes. I miss you so much. Every day without you has been torture." I sat perfectly still, my heart pounding but my resolve firm. The no-contact strategy had worked because I had committed to it completely. Breaking it now would undo 6 months of healing. I watched through the camera as she eventually gave up and left shoulders slumped in defeat. She returned the next day, and the day after, each time staying longer, her pleas becoming more desperate. On the 4th day, she left a letter under my door, which I picked up, but did not open. On the 5th day, she brought coffee and breakfast, sitting cross-legged outside my apartment for 3 hours, before my neighbor awkwardly asked her to leave. After a week of this, I realized the situation would not resolve itself. Her persistence was affecting my neighbors and threatening the peace I had worked so hard to achieve. I texted her from my new number. "I will meet you tomorrow. Noon at Elm Street Coffee. Public place only." Her immediate response, "Thank you. Thank you. I will be there." The coffee shop was busy enough to provide background noise but quiet enough for conversation. I arrived 10 minutes early to select a table near the exit with a clear view of the door. When Amanda walked in, the contrast between the woman before me and the one in my memories was stark. She had lost weight, her clothes hanging loosely on her frame. Her hair was pulled back in a simple ponytail instead of her usual carefully styled waves. When she spotted me, her face lit up with such hope that I almost felt sorry for her. "You came," she said, sliding into the seat across from me. "I was afraid you would change your mind. I am here to ask you to stop coming to my apartment," I said calmly. "It is disruptive to my neighbors and uncomfortable for me." Her face fell. "That is the only reason you agreed to meet. What did you expect, Amanda? That I would welcome you back after what you did?" She looked down at her untouched coffee. "I know I hurt you terribly. There is no excuse for what I did. But these past months without you have shown me what I threw away. What happened with Jason, I asked more from curiosity than jealousy." Her laugh was bitter. "He was never going to leave his wife. Yes, he was married the whole time. I was just a fool who believed his lies about being separated. When his wife found out, he blamed everything on me. I lost my job, my reputation in the industry. Everyone knows what I did. So I am your backup plan. Now that he rejected you, you want me back." "No," she insisted, reaching for my hand. I pulled back. I realized I truly loved you long before that ended. I was just too proud and ashamed to admit I had made such a horrible mistake. Ghosting you was my way of running from the guilt. I thought if I cut all ties, the feelings would fade. They never did. For a moment, I felt that familiar pull toward her. The history we shared, the future we had planned. But then I remembered the messages I had read, the lies she had told so easily, the cruel way she had disappeared without explanation. I am sorry for what you went through, I said sincerely. But what we had is over. I spent 6 months rebuilding my life without you. I am in a better place now, and I want to keep moving forward. Tears filled her eyes. Do you ever think about giving us another chance? We were so good together before I ruined everything. The trust is gone, Amanda. Without that foundation, we would be building on sand. I could earn your trust back, she pleaded. I would be completely transparent. You could have access to my phone, my email, everything. That is not a relationship. That is a prison for both of us. I stood up, leaving my coffee mostly untouched. Please stop coming to my apartment. Move on with your life like I have with mine. As I walked toward the door, she called after me. I will always love you, Arden. I paused, but did not turn around. I hope you find peace, Amanda, and I hope your next relationship is built on honesty from the start. Outside, the spring air felt cleansing. For months, I had imagined what I would say if I ever saw Amanda again. I had rehearsed angry speeches, accusations, even fantasized about making her feel the pain she had caused me. But standing there in the sunshine, I felt none of the rage or heartache I had expected. Just a calm certainty that I had made the right decision. The experience of betrayal had nearly broken me, but in rebuilding I had discovered strengths I never knew I possessed. The ability to set boundaries, the courage to be alone rather than accept less than I deserved. The wisdom to recognize that forgiveness does not always mean reconciliation. In the months that followed, Amanda's attempts to contact me became less frequent and eventually stopped altogether. I heard through mutual friends that she had moved to Chicago for a fresh start. I sincerely wished her well. As for me, I continued to grow and explore this new version of myself. I took that promotion at work. I finished my half marathon. I even started dating again this time with a clearer understanding of what I needed in a partner. Trust, respect, communication. The fundamentals that no amount of chemistry could replace. The pain of betrayal had transformed into valuable wisdom. I learned that sometimes the greatest act of self-love is walking away from someone who brings chaos into your life, no matter how much history you share. I discovered that healing is not linear, but happens in waves, and that is okay. Most importantly, I realized that we are never truly starting over, just starting from a place of greater understanding. Have you ever had to make the difficult decision to maintain no contact with someone who hurt you? How did you stay strong when they tried to come back into your life? Share your experience in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe to hear more real-life experiences. Your support helps this channel grow, and sharing these stories might help someone else going through similar challenges. Thank you for listening, and remember that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is simply protect your peace.